The greedy servant and the faithful servant. There was once a wealthy landowner named Mr. Jonathan, who owned vast farms and many workers. Among his servants were two young men, Samuel and Daniel. Every year, Mr. Jonathan rewarded his servants with a piece of land based on their hard work and character. Samuel was lazy, selfish, and greedy. He always looked for ways to avoid work while taking credit for what others did. Whenever he received a piece of land, he sold it immediately and spent the money on unnecessary things. He was never satisfied and always complained that he deserved more. Daniel, however, was hardworking, honest, and content with what he had. He worked from sunrise to sunset without complaint. Whenever he received a piece of land, he cultivated it carefully, planted crops, and used the profits wisely. He thanked his master for every reward he received. As the years passed, Daniel's lands became productive farms filled with crops, fruit trees, and livestock. His wealth grew steadily because he managed his blessings wisely. Samuel, on the other hand, remained poor despite receiving the same opportunities. He wasted every reward and spent his days envying Daniel's success. One year, Mr. Jonathan decided to test both servants. He called them and said, "This year, I will give each of you the largest piece of land I have ever awarded. Show me what you can do with it." Daniel immediately began clearing the land, planting crops and building irrigation channels. He worked patiently and diligently. Samuel was excited only by the size of the land. Instead of developing it, he spent most of his time boasting to others about how rich he would become. Months passed, and very little work was done. At harvest time, Daniel's land produced an abundance of crops. The fields were green and beautiful, and people traveled from nearby villages to buy his produce. Samuel's land was overgrown with weeds and produced almost nothing. Seeing the results, Mr. Jonathan gathered all his workers and said, "Success does not come from the opportunities you receive, but from what you do with them." Both servants were given the same rewards, yet one prospered because he was faithful and hardworking, while the other failed because he was greedy and lazy. As a final reward, Mr. Jonathan gave Daniel ownership of several additional lands and made him manager of the entire estate. Samuel received no further rewards and learned a painful lesson about greed. Moral of the story: hard work, gratitude, and contentment bring lasting success, while greed and laziness lead to failure.